Good morning, you're watching Doordarshan News and this is the news for Hearing Impaired. I am Nancy Kohli and with me is Sonu. Let's begin with the headlines. At least 20 people killed and more than 40 others injured in a major fire at Bhubaneswar's Institute of Medical Sciences and SUM Hospital in Odisha. Prime Minister Modi assures all possible support from the centre. Odisha Chief Minister orders inquiry into the incident. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate hydro projects in Bilaspur, Kullu and Shimla districts will address to rallies at Nahan and Mandi in Himachal Pradesh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to give away awards to industry representatives of micro, small and medium enterprises in Ludhiana. Will unveil hub to provide support to SC/ST entrepreneurs to launch Zero Defect, Zero Effect scheme. Myanmar's Foreign Minister Aung San Suu Kyi to meet the President and External Affairs Minister today to hold bilateral talks with Prime Minister Modi during her first official India visit. Terror and border management likely to figure in the talks. Massive protests in Bengaluru over the murder of an RSS activist. BJP and the Sankaras take to streets, demand raise for probe into matter and swift arrest of the guilty. Police arrest 3 suspects. There is no end to controversies related to the Aam Aadmi Party. Its rebel MLA Devendra Sehrawat alleges donation scam of 16 crore rupees. Supreme Court questions Kejriwal's move to tour Gujarat instead of attending meeting on dengue and chikungunya crisis in the national capital. In sports news, BCCI seeks more time in Supreme Court in implementing the Lodha Committee recommendations. The top court says going by the record, it seems the orders have been defied, reserves its verdict over the matter. And now the news in detail. Over 20 patients were killed and over 20 others injured in a fire that broke out in the ICU wing of the Institute of Medical Sciences and the SUM Hospital in Bhubaneswar on Monday evening. The blaze was suspected to have been triggered by an electric short circuit in the dialysis ward on the first floor of the private hospital, which spread to the nearby intensive care unit as well. The fire rapidly spread to other areas on the same floor of the 4-storied hospital building. The Commissioner of Police and Fire Brigade personnel along with volunteers and hospital staff launched a massive rescue operation as more than 500 indoor patients were trapped in the building. At least 7 fire tenders were pressed into service to control the blaze and over a dozen ambulances deployed to shift the critical patients to other hospitals. Many patients were rescued by breaking the window panes. Meanwhile, the state government has ordered a high-level probe by the Director, Medical Education and Training into the incident. Prime Minister Narendra Modi voiced deep anguish at the loss of lives in a massive blaze at the hospital in Bhubaneswar, calling it mind-numbing. The Prime Minister in a tweet said that he spoke to Union Health Minister J.P. Nadda and asked him to facilitate the transfer of all of those injured to the AIIMS. Prime Minister Modi has also spoken to Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan and asked him to ensure all possible help to the injured and the affected. Prime Minister Modi also spoke with Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik about the distressing hospital fire tragedy and has assured all possible help and support from the centre. Union Health Minister J.P. Nadda has said the centre is providing all necessary support to Odisha. The minister said he has already spoken to the AIIMS in Bhubaneswar and asked it to provide all necessary help and assistance to the patients. The minister in a tweet said that the Union Health Secretary C.K. Mishra has already spoken with the Odisha Health Department officials and was in constant touch with them. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Himachal Pradesh today. During his visit, the Prime Minister will inaugurate 3 hydropower projects in Bilaspur, Shimla and Kullu districts. These projects will play an important role in boosting the hydropower sector of the state. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also address 2 rallies in Nahan and Mandi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also visit Ludhiana today. During his visit, the Prime Minister will unveil key initiatives and a hub to provide support to entrepreneurs from the SC/ST community. Prime Minister Modi will also launch Zero Defect, Zero Effect scheme, distribute charkhas to women and present national awards to outstanding micro, small and medium enterprises. The scheme was first mentioned by Prime Minister Modi in his Independence Day speech in 2014. It denotes high-quality manufacturing with a minimal negative impact on environment. The scheme is aimed at raising the quality levels in the unregulated MSME sector. Myanmar State Councillor and Foreign Minister Aung San Suu Kyi will call on President Pranab Mukherjee today. Suu Kyi, who's on a 3-day visit to Delhi, will also be meeting External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj. The State Council of Myanmar will also be accorded ceremonial reception at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. She later visit Rajghat to pay tribute to Mahatma Gandhi. Suu Kyi will also be attending a business event during which she'll interact with leading Indian business leaders and discuss the ways to improve commerce and trade between the two neighbors. Suu Kyi will hold bilateral talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi tomorrow. Cooperation on border management and tackling terror, apart from deepening economic and cultural ties, are expected to figure prominently in the talks. The crucial meeting of the all-powerful GST Council will begin today in New Delhi. The 3-day will decide the tax rate and sort out issues like compensation formula for the rollout of the new indirect tax regime from 1st April 2017. With the Finance Ministry setting 22nd November as the deadline for building consensus on all the issues in the Council, the upcoming meeting is significant as it will decide on the most crucial aspect of tax rate that will have a bearing on the common man. At its previous meeting last month, the GST Council, which has all state finance ministers as members, had finalized the area-based exemptions and how 11 states, mostly in the northeast and the hilly regions, will be treated under the new tax regime. An FIR has been registered against the organizers of religious congregation in Varanasi in connection with the stampede in which 25 people were killed and over 100 people injured while crossing the Rajghat bridge to participate in the event. 5 persons were booked for allegedly furnishing false information while seeking permission for taking out procession and holding a 2-day camp. The case has been registered under various sections of the Indian Penal Code. And news now from Karnataka, where the protesters of the Bharati Janata Party and the Sangh Parivar hit the streets in Bengaluru on Monday over the murder of an RSS activist on Sunday. The activists demanded swift probe and action against the guilty. The Karnataka police have arrested 3 suspects in the case. The Aam Aadmi Party and controversy are becoming 2 sides of the same coin. On Monday, the rebel Aam Aadmi Party MLA Devendra Sehrawat has put the Aam Aadmi Party government in a spot over delegations of a donation scam. On the other hand, the Supreme Court pulled up the Delhi government for its poor handling of dengue and chikungunya cases in the national capital. The apex court has asked whether the Delhi Chief Minister was really unwell that he could not attend a meeting on chikungunya. The court said it had found out that the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal was actually that time in Gujarat. Then there is the case of the 21 MLAs in the Office of Profit case, whose fate is also hanging by a thin thread. 9 Naxals have surrendered before police in Ranchi on Monday. The area commander Lal Bihari Singh among the surrendered Naxals. The DGP has presented a check of 2 lakh rupees and 50,000 rupees cash reward to the surrendered area commander. The DGP has welcomed the surrendered Naxals for denouncing violence and coming to the mainstream of society. Vice President Muhammad Hamid Ansari has arrived in Algeria for a 2-day visit. The issue of cross-border terror emanating from across India's border will be raised during the bilateral meetings the Vice President will have with Algeria's President, Prime Minister and other top leadership. Yemen's President Abrabu Mansour Hadi has agreed to a 72-hour truce with the possibility of it being extended. Yemen Foreign Minister announced the ceasefire on social media. The government's announcement follows international alarm over the deaths of 140 people in a Saudi airstrike. Later on Monday, United Nations Special Envoy for Yemen announced that the Houthis had also agreed to abide by the deal. The latest ceasefire is expected to start on Thursday. The US, Britain and the United Nations Peace Envoy to Yemen have all urged the warring parties in the country's civil war to declare an immediate ceasefire. And news now from back home. The Supreme Court on Monday reserved its order on directions to be passed on to the BCCI for implementation of the Lodha panel recommendations. BCCI President Anurag Thakur told media persons after the court's proceedings that the state units are currently confused about some of the suggestions and need more clarity before complying. The cricket body has held on to its stand about what it termed as practical difficulties in implementing some of the recommendations, which include one state, one vote, the age cap of 70 years, 3-year cooling off period, one person, one post. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the news. Thanks very much for being with us.